Take 200. So... It's recorded now. You know who the absolute sociopaths of photography are? In the photographic world, the people who kind of scare me. And I hope I don't offend any of them, although... Can you offend a sociopath? The people I'm talking about are people who do street photography. And that's because doing street photography scares me a little bit. There's all kinds of genres of photography, and usually you're either photographing something that doesn't need permission, or you're photographing something that's given you permission. If you're taking portraits, that person has agreed to them or wants you to do them. If you're taking landscapes, that's a landscape. That's fine. If you're doing still life, anything like food, it doesn't really need permission. But street photography, taking street portraits, I don't mean just like pictures of buildings and stuff in cities, which is a kind of a genre in itself. And some people do call that street photography, but that's easy. You just stand there and you take a picture of the building that's there. You make sure you're out in the right weather. You make sure you're out when the light is right, and you snap away and you don't need permission. There's nothing scary about that. That is fine. I could do that. Boring. Don't enjoy it that much, but I could do that. What I'm talking about is taking pictures of people just going about their daily life. And don't get me wrong, I genuinely really do like looking at that stuff. The shit you see, especially like Martin Parr pictures from like the 60s, 70s, whenever his like golden age body of work was. All those photographers who did this kind of thing in America in the 50s and 60s, and then there's some stuff in the 80s which is awesome, and I'm sure there's like 90s stuff, and there's definitely modern stuff. All those things I think are fantastic, beautiful stuff. I'm gonna try and look up some examples to put over what I've just said. There's also, you go back further, and there's Henri Cartier-Bresson and the stuff that he was doing, and it's fantastic and it's beautiful. But especially now, when everyone's so savvy about their image being reproduced within cyberspace. Cyberspace, people say that anymore? Probably don't. But you know what I mean? The idea of having your picture taken by a stranger and it being put on the internet is something that freaks people out a little bit. And so there's a potential for aggression. And it does genuinely feel like when you're doing it, it feels like you're taking something from someone without their permission. You are capturing their likeness and you are using it to do something that they are not part of then. And I don't find that particularly problematic in itself. Like if someone captures a picture of me going about my daily business, I'm not fussed about it. I'm okay with that. I'm understanding of what the world that we live in is. But not everyone is. And people can get angry and can get violent, and that's kind of what scares me about it, I think. The last time that I tried to do this, I took a picture of a couple, and he looked like a bit of a roidhead, and she was like dolled up to the nines, like that kind of like most normal people kind of go, ugh, she all right. Like they both just looked a little bit like on the wrong side of like trying to be glam. And I camera down by my side, looking at the viewfinder, take the picture, and he was looking right down that lens, and he looked like he was ready to murder someone. I actually didn't even really get the picture. It just wasn't a good picture, but he was looking at me. So I can't find that picture. I wish I could, but I think I just deleted it because the only thing, and I don't think this is actually true, but in my memory of it, the only thing that was crisp was just his eyes looking down the lens, ready to absolutely feed me my own testicles. and I haven't really done street photography since then because it just freaked me out. Like I thought, what if he just was like, "You taking pictures of my girlfriend?" I'm like, "No, I'm taking pictures of the both of you." "What are you taking pictures for? Pervert or something?" And then just like fed my camera to me via my bumhole. Like, what if that happened? Like, why have you come to the A&E? Oh, because I need you to take the Sony out of my rectum because a roid had put it up there because I was taking pictures of him and his girlfriend. I think this is why a lot of this street photography is done. The pictures that are taken now seem to be of either old people or old foreign people. So old people, but just old people and old foreign people. As in people who don't speak the same language as you. That's me just projecting what I think it might be. But a lot of the street photography that I see is that. But I thought I'd jump out of my comfort zone because I've not been posting videos, and it's not because I've got some sort of creative block, but I've fallen into this weird Dunning-Kruger area of my life where I'm like, am I amazing or am I properly shit? And I think realistically, like most people, it's somewhere in the middle, floating about there. Sometimes I'm pretty decent, sometimes I'm borderline shit, but you just got to keep going. And because I was in this weird like Dunning-Kruger shit or like amazing, I just couldn't do anything because either I am amazing and I need the thing that I produce to be the best that I can produce, so it's like this kind of disabling perfectionism, or on the other side of things, if I am actually genuinely just turd at this, maybe I should just stop and not actually create anything. Also, I've been pretty busy as well, which is kind of nice. You know, work's been good. So yeah, I've not been making videos, and I have been making videos. I've not been posting anything. I've been creating stuff and just like being like, don't know if I should put this out in the world. I like playing about with these weird notions. And one of these weird notions that goes back to the start of this YouTube channel, which is why it used to be called When Will I Learn before I changed it to Sean Cross, which isn't actually my name. That is the name of the YouTube channel, which makes it weird that I got a lot of hate from some of my family for changing the name of my YouTube channel. Weird that, innit? Changing the name of my YouTube channel. But it did used to be called When Will I Learn, and the idea was just messing about with these new ideas. And I've said ideas too many times. It's weird, but bear with me. One of the first videos that I did that I actually really liked was this one. And it's about me going out and trying landscape photography for the first time. Genuinely like immersing myself in what it meant to do some landscape photography. Going out, sleeping outside, and waking up and going and climbing a hill and trying to take some pictures. And I wasn't any good at it, but I wasn't scared of it. And that's where street photography comes in. I went out and did some street photography again today, and it wasn't scary actually. It was fine. I did notice some people like really locked on to me, really locked on to the fact that I was taking pictures, but I didn't let it bother me as much this time. And so here's a selection of those pictures. What I did was I set my camera I had a zoom lens, which is new to me. Put my camera at 35mm and f8 or f9, and I set the focus about 2 meters away from me, 3 meters away, about 2 meters away, 2.5 meters away from me. And I just snapped away and took pictures of people as they were sort of walking to me. I was holding it down low. I was trying to be like quite discreet, but I didn't want people to think that I was like secret camera in them. So I didn't like hide my camera in any way. I just did it as discreet as I could. I enjoyed it. And you know what? Sometimes the lesson is do the scary thing and be scared for a bit. And that's hard, but it's worth it sometimes. That is the lesson for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Appreciate it. Love you. That's a creepy ending. That is a creepy ending. Right. Laters. So, where was I? I think I'd got to the point where I was rambling, and once I start rambling... Oh, no, don't go too far away from there, because you've got no trousers on. Oh, right, where was I?